Gateway to Exams, Units 3 and 4, Exercises 3 and 4. Speaker 1.
Some young people play computer games too often, and then they just can't live without them. They get totally hooked. When you ask them to switch them off, they protest. It's almost as if they're addicted. They exercise less because they'd rather be indoors playing than outside running around. The worst thing is that these games are having a serious effect on standards of literacy. In the school where I work, I see it all the time. The kids have terrible problems concentrating and learning, and their levels of reading and writing are poor. They have trouble focusing on things for more than a few minutes in class. To my mind, computer games are the cause of declining standards in learning. And of course, some young people aren't interested in anything else besides their games. I know they've got the potential to do much better in class and work towards better qualifications, but they can't be bothered.
Speaker 2.
The newspapers are full of talk about the harmful effects of computer games and video games, but I don't believe it's true. I read recently that video gamers were better than non-gamers at flying and landing drones. In fact, they were as skilled as qualified pilots. And a group of surgeons who spent time playing video games later became better at operating on people than those who didn't. Well, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? I expect a lot of young people don't put video games as an interest on their CV because they think it'll put people off. But that's a mistake. I'm a manager in a small company and we recruit people for their overall skills, not just their qualifications. 2 of the last 3 people I've employed have been gamers. They've got great attention spans, excellent memories, and they're really good at making quick decisions when necessary. In my opinion, that's all down to playing games.
Speaker 3.
There's no question about the effects of playing computer games on the brain. I've been doing some research for an article, and the facts are pretty alarming. Studies have demonstrated that children who play violent video games over a long period of time develop more aggressive behaviour. I know there are other studies that show that family and social problems probably have more of an effect than gaming, but none of them, as far as I know, were carried out over such a long period of time. They're just not conclusive. I'd like to write another article about the differences in the games boys and girls play, as I think that'd be a really interesting subject too.
Speaker 4.
In my profession, you need great spatial awareness, and studies have shown that playing action video games improves people's ability to quickly locate a target when there are a lot of distractions around. Another study demonstrated that action games increase the ability of children and adults to keep track of a set of moving objects. Those are exactly the kind of skills you need to play basketball. I'm convinced that it has helped me improve my game, and it's a great way to relax, especially when you've got an important match coming up. I also find it helps me to wind down after a hard game. Another interesting thing about video gaming is that it's been shown to reduce impulsiveness, so it helps you decide when to take action and when not to. That's great for me. I definitely won't stop playing. I really think if you want to develop a range of different skills, then you should take up video gaming.
Speaker 5.
There have been a lot of studies about the effects of gaming, and many people worry it encourages violent behaviour. But I don't really think there's any conclusive evidence. What I can say from my experience at work is that juvenile crime has fallen. There's some evidence that most crimes, such as vandalism or theft by young people, are committed by kids that don't play games, and it could well be right. I mean, if you've got a place to hang out with your friends and play games, why would you be out on the street doing things that you shouldn't be doing? I reckon that kids learn quite a lot from these games. You know, things like developing problem solving and thinking skills. People are too concerned about the effects of playing games. They should be looking at the problems young people face, like conditions at home and lack of funding for schools and limited job prospects.